So, yeah, super happy to be here. It's my first time to Poland. I grew up, my grandparents spoke Polish in the house, and so it's nice to hear the language again. Apologize, I don't speak it. But look, so, sorry, really bright light there. Yeah, so I'm here for you guys, so definitely save up some questions for the end. If you don't get a turn with the microphone, tap me on the shoulder later. Happy to grab a conversation, shoot me an email, whatever. Let's see, what's going on here?
Is that working?
There you go.
There you go.
All right, so who am I? So my name is Zach. I'm from San Francisco. I've been working at high-growth startups for a little over 12 years now. I got my start at a company called Tickle. It was an IQ testing platform. We had over 200 million registered users, profitable company, 40 million revenue, and we ended up selling to Monster for over $100 million. Next up, I started a company called SuperFan with one of the founders from Tickle. We made viral apps for big brands. So we did apps for CBS, MTV, Universal, Lady Gaga, Britney Spears, cool stuff like that. But we kind of fell into an agency model. It wasn't something that scaled without adding more humans to the model. And so we pivoted to become BranchOut. BranchOut was one of the fastest growing applications on the Facebook platform in 2012. I ended up building a growth team internally, and our claim to fame is we grew really fast to about 25 million users in about 90 days. That's faster than the growth rate of Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, sites like that. We raised $49 million in venture funding from some of the top VCs in the Valley. And where I am now. So these days, I'm at a company called Creative Market. We're a marketplace for design assets. So our vision there is really we're trying to be a solution to the blank canvas. So we're trying to make beautiful design affordable and accessible to everyone. So we sell things like fonts and graphics and WordPress themes, icons, things like that. So we're just under two years old. This is what our growth rate looked like over the last 20 months. So on average, we've grown about 27% month over month revenue growth, and that's faster. We hit the $1 million milestone faster than notable marketplaces like Etsy and eBay. So pretty cool. So how did we get here? So we did lots of stuff. So we gave free downloads to incentivize signups. We offer a new selection of those free downloads every week as a retention channel. We integrated Facebook Auth for an easy one-click sign-up. Now 60% of our sign-ups are through Facebook. We integrated a like feature, so it's sending signals to folks on Facebook that we have cool content. We launched an affiliate program. So we offer our partners a 10% commission for sending us new customers. It's actually a pretty cool program. You get 10% of every sale for a full year for that referred customer, not the first sale like a lot of other affiliate programs. So those of you looking for some side income, you should check out our partner program. But at the end of the day, the true success to our growth story was really around content marketing and organic search. So what's content marketing? So content marketing is a marketing technique of creating and distributing valuable, relevant, and consistent content to attract and acquire a clearly defined audience with the objective of driving profitable customer action. So today I just want to share some of the tactics that I did over the last couple of years, and hopefully you guys can find some little bits of advice to apply to your own businesses. So we started with search, right? So I joined the company 2 months after launch, and we basically were nowhere in search results. My background previously had been in social network growth, so really around the pitch of inviting your friends to build a network around you. That obviously wasn't going to be a play with an e-commerce site. You're not going to invite your friends to come shopping with you, and especially in a niche design community e-commerce play. And I come from a design background. I knew that starting a new project or coming up with a comp or just looking for inspiration, I would hit up Google search, right? That's what everyone does. If they go, you're looking for images, you go to image search. And so we were nowhere on the map as far as SEO goes. And so generally speaking, the name of the game with SEO is in two parts, right? So it's on the technical side, you want to make your site as easily crawlable as possible by the bots, and then you need to increase the number of inbound links to your site. And so my strategy going forward with SEO was to maximize the number of inbound links from reputable domains in the shortest amount of time possible. So last year, an independent firm produced a study to look at what signals did Google look at to give your site's page rank, right? So how do you get at the top of the search results? And the study produced that at the very top, what mattered most were signals from social sites. So all those, I don't know if you could see that up there, but the top of this are the Google Plus, of course, is number one. Facebook shares, comments, likes, things like that. And so we knew that we needed to find content that would get shared if we were going to influence Google. And we had all these product pages, and we put share buttons on there, but it doesn't make sense to share fonts. And so we needed something that was more substance for people to share. And so we started blogging. So we didn't really have a budget. We couldn't hire an ad agency or a fancy PR company. Paid ads is super expensive. It doesn't work very well. And so we saw that an opportunity in our blog. We had a blog already up and running. We were posting like general posts, things about the company, about the community. Basically had no audience. And so we decided that we were going to start writing posts that were designed around search topics, right? So around topics that people are searching for, obviously. And then once we had the content, we seeded that content around social sites. We started early with our team. So our team putting posts up, their friends would share it from there. Humble beginnings. And then we decided to focus on growing likes to our social channels. So this is an example of a simple biz dev email. We wrote one of the PMs at Google Plus and just asked them if he would promote our page in the recommended profiles to follow section. And about a year later, we have 2.6 million followers on Google Plus. I don't know how many of those people are interested in design assets, but it's still kind of an impressive number. And then on a similar front, we also, about targeted followers on Facebook, we built a simple Facebook tab app and offered free downloads there under the condition that you like our page. And about 6 months ago, we had 4,000 likes, and today we have like 120,000 or something like that. And those are people that have said, yes, I want this content. And to get those downloads, you have to sign up for the site. And so now we have their email address. And so there's different tactics that you can use there to build your following list. And then so once you have this traffic coming from the social sites and people are clicking back to your blog, it's really important to optimize, A/B test the hell out of your share buttons. We did a bunch of optimization here. We started with just the icons up in the top corner. We thought that having the share buttons at the very bottom of the blog posts, when you're done reading the post, that's the time you'd want to share with your friends. And it was really once we put the share buttons underneath the title that we saw we had the biggest impact. And what was happening is people were just reading the title of the blog post and sharing it with their friends before they even had time to read the post. And that's where we really saw shares start to explode for us. We also, on a weekly basis, we diversify the type of content that we're posting. We look at what types of posts work the best. At the end of the day, we're looking at page views. just as a simple way to look at metrics. Of course, there's all sorts of metrics along that funnel that you can look at, but page views is the one metric that tells you that people really like this content. And so that gives us a signal of what types of content to continue to write, and it helps us better write hits that drive traffic back to the site. And then at the end of the day, we've grown this blog traffic, right? We've done a pretty good job at that. But we sell design goods. We're a marketplace. And so it's getting people onto our email list is a pretty critical step for our business. We have crazy open rates and click-through rates of our email, and it accounts for about 1/3 of our revenue. So what we offer is after somebody is on the blog for a little bit, we pop a modal and we offer free downloads there. And so that's worked really well for us. We've also tested things like 10% off coupons and things like that. But no matter what your business is, like just think about the incentives to get people to sign up. That's almost the most important part of the funnel. So pretty early on, we started to see some really nice ROI in our content efforts, and we got to the point where we maximized the human capabilities of our staff, right? So we just couldn't produce enough content, and we knew that if we continue to up the volume of content, we'd continue to see these gains. And so we decided to outsource and bring in a team of freelance writers. And so one of our buddies operates a company called Scripted. There are other marketplaces out there that offer similar services. Scripted's been really great for us because they have a lot of people who know the design space, and so that's been really great for us because it just feels right on, and we get this really high quality content that works very well as content marketing content. And so I put together a little just content strategy checklist. Just a quick list of what's worked for me, and hopefully this stuff will work for you too if you apply it. So define your audience. So who and where are your customers? What content topics are you going to get them to come to your site? I think that's super important. Actually, I'll back up a little bit. So number zero is really product market fit. I don't think this is talked about enough, but super critical is early on as possible. If you can get a clear signal that there's a demand in the marketplace for the product that you're building, then go on with your growth strategy. So whether you are working on a content marketing strategy or a viral strategy or paid marketing or whatever it is, if your product isn't something that there's a market for, if people don't want it and love it, then it's not going to grow. You can throw every growth tactic in the world at it, and it'll still fail. So, for an example of what we did is 6 months before we launched the product, we put a splash page up, and it was basically just a sign-up form, and we gave everyone a $5 gift code if they agreed to sign up early before we launched. 80,000 people signed up before we built the product. So that, for us, that was a clear signal to keep on trucking and continue building this product. So I just want to throw that in there. But back to content marketing, define your audience. Build a social following. So like I briefly mentioned, just sharing to your friend groups is only going to get you so far. There's a lot of value in building your social following, and then when you post your content to the social channels, those are the people who are going to seed your content for you. Design for clicks and shares. So A/B testing, super critical. Test your titles, test your links, test your copy, test your buttons. Scale quality content. It's a numbers game. The sooner you could, the more volume you put out there, the faster you'll be able to find your hit, and the faster you'll be able to scale your page rank. Analyze top performers. That gives you signals on writing more posts like that. Number 6, upsell your conversion, capture your traffic, incentivize new visitors to sign up on your mailing list. And finally, biz dev, guest posting. Talk to people who are in your community. write guest posts on other people's blogs. Like we write guest posts on Smashing Magazine and other big design sites, and those are building link backs back to our site. But we also do lots of co-promotions. At the end of the day, it's a very small community, right? So no matter what industry you're in, the web community is pretty small. So even like building relationships with competitors, and you never know where folks will be down the road. That networking has been super critical in getting deals done. For example, the Google Plus follow list example. So yeah, so where are we at? Where are we at today? So it took us about 6 months, but then we saw that we took first position in a lot of key phrases in a very competitive space, and yeah, it paid off for us. And at the end of last year, a lot of acquirers came knocking on our door, as well as VCs to raise another round of funding. And the offer that Autodesk provided was something we couldn't walk away from, and it's been great. So we continue to grow at a crazy pace, and yeah. So that's I don't think that was a really fast talk. I'm sorry for that.
That's all right.
But
am I on? Yeah.
It was a lot longer in my hotel room. But look, so I want to give a little back to the Polish startup scene. So the first 20 people to follow mention Creative Market and hashtag Bitspiration will get $50 from me. So thank you.
So thank you. Stay there, please. Questions, of course, and it's not every day you can have, because he's actually much more tactical. So, of course, thank you for being here, because I always ask good questions. So go ahead, please. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. A great presentation. I wanted to ask you, that's a great strategy for checking product market fit with the landing page. I just wanted to ask you, how would you promote it? How did you get to 80K users signed up? Because I guess you don't want to overinvest at this stage. How would you do it?
So we were actually in a pretty unique situation where the founders of Creative Market rolled the company out of an existing design community called Color Lovers. And so we did a lot of seeding there to get the word out that we're starting this new company. And honestly, the idea for Creative Market came out of Color Lovers going into YC. And the idea originally was that they were going to build a marketplace inside Color Lovers, and that just made no sense because no one's going to buy color palettes. But so that's how we originally seeded it, and then also through the YC group. So that's where we saw the biggest return.
But, could you just briefly share how would you do it for a normal a product without such a background?
Yeah, so I think if we didn't have that pool to seed from, a content strategy is probably the easiest and cheapest way to go. You can do a lot of these same tactics that I talked about to get some blog posts going, and then just build sharing that way, and then through a funnel that you build, get people to sign up for your early program.
Anyone else? Come on, guys, it's not every day. I know you're very hungry, I know that. Although there's been like sandwiches and sweets and everything you can hope for during the whole morning. Anyone else want to ask a question? Yes, no? Oh, come on, guys, he's offering you $50. They're actually more interested in the money than they're actually interested in the question. Will you be sticking around?
Yeah, I'll be around all day. So.
Oh, I see a hand. Sorry, I wasn't. Go ahead, please.
Are there any companies you are like respecting their work in terms of growth marketing or just kind of cool ways of getting users?
Sorry, say again?
Like, what are some fun companies that you know of that are doing fun things in terms of like growth marketing and just acquiring users outside of Creative Market? Yeah,
I mean, there's the obvious ones like everyone talks about, the Dropboxes and the Airbnbs and stuff like that. But I think the Mailbox app did a pretty interesting thing with their launch, their pre-market launch, where they had the countdown or the wait period to get in their beta program. I think that built a lot of hype, so that was pretty interesting. I think that would be a pretty hard one to recreate. You'd have to have a pretty awesome product, but let's see, what else? Well, Dribble is an interesting one where they pitch the site as this private, closed community, and there's other websites where people are selling invites to get into this network. That's a pretty interesting angle. You've seen other sites. There's a site called Quib, which is a new site in San Francisco that's doing a similar tactic, and they actually started by only inviting influencers from the Valley, and so it felt like there's this like super, elite place to join, and if you couldn't get in, it kind of drove you crazy, and so you had to find a way to get an invite. So I think those are pretty interesting tactics.